Jessica Andrade. I mean, first of all, Jessica Andrade is one scoop of creatine away from being a man, you know? All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. In today's video, we will be breaking down every single fight coming your way for UFC Fight Night Yan versus Figueiredo in Macau. Early one in the middle of the night. Probably not going to get to see it, but that's okay. We got to get our beauty rest. I mean, JP is walking at New York Fashion Week next year, I heard. Some rumors out there. I don't know, but either way, it's going to be super early, but still an exciting card. A lot of exciting fighters on this one, and we'll dive into it. But before we do, just want to give a quick shout out to you guys as our current viewers, our current subscribers. Even if you aren't subscribed, we appreciate you so much. However, it's free to do. Why not just get subscribed? Your boys are absolutely crushing it every single week. Last week I went 9-3. Week before that we went 10-1, 11-1. Every single week it seems like we're going to hit the perfect card soon. I can feel it in my bones. You don't want to miss out. Get subscribed. All right, without further ado, JP, I'll hand it over to you to kick us off for this UFC fight night.
Yeah, early one. No kidding. Um, 1 a.m. or the prelims. That's. I mean, this is a whole different level of being being a fight fan, dude. If you watch this from start to finish, I mean, ain't nobody ever call you a casual again. That's for sure. That's crazy. Also crazy excited to hear Brevin pronounce half these names. Okay, not even 80%. But the first fight of the night, Nicholas Moda versus Mahashate. I'm not even gonna try and say his last name.
On ESPN, they don't even include his last name, so I find that very interesting. Um, This one's going to be an interesting little matchup. Mahashate Young, he's 24. He's going to be the rangier guy in this one. He stands at 6 feet tall. Mata's going to be little shorter there at 5'9". Um, However, I think Mata has the power advantage in this one. Mahashate at times has decent technical striking, but other times he looks kind of sloppy. Mata's somebody that's going to stand in the pocket, keep his chin up, look for him to potentially get clipped. I could see that being a possibility. However, I'm going to have to go with the guy that I've seen power out of because I do think that's what wins this fight. I'm going with the underdog, Nicholas Mata, to kick us off.
This one I already was going back and forth a lot because Mahashate he is gonna be bigger and longer. I mean he's got a good right hand. It's quick, but other than that, I don't know. It's kind of iffy. His stand up looks good sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Moto's got a high guard and he'll throw pretty straight shots. And like you said, he's got power. He got knocked out by Jim Miller. Don't know how much I like that. It'll be close. It'll be close, man. The lines are decently close right now. I think it'll be even closer by the time they close. I was going with Moda at first because I thought you were getting good value out of him. I don't know. With it being in China, I think the deal breaker was Mahashate being a Chinese fighter. And I really couldn't decide, couldn't pick between the two. So I'm just going to use that to go with Mahashate in case any weird shit happens on the scorecards. Weirder shit has happened. So I'm going to plan for that so I don't feel like I got screwed. But yeah, I'm going to go Mahashate.
All right. The first fight of the night, we're already picking against each other, but that is okay. I'm sure there's more of that to come throughout this card. And that's what happens when we see a lot of these coin tosses, where the lines are very even. There's not a clear, distinct winner from the get go, at least on paper. We're going to have our personal preferences, and that is perfectly fine. That's what makes it fun. All right. Next fight, Zhao Long going up against Kwang Lee.
Yeah, we broke down Zhao's fight against Chang Ho Lee, and now he's fighting Kwang Lee. I'm gonna leave it at that. You gotta be careful with some of the shit we say for this card, but yeah. Long Zhao's gonna kind of make it a dirty fight. He likes to clinch. He throws good knees. He does good work. Puts pressure on you. Kwang Lee, his stand up is very patient. I feel like he's got good jujitsu though, and Long Zhao likes to clinch and he's decent in the clinch. But Kwang Lee's got decent back take game. His stand up's good enough. I like his wrestling though. I like his wrestling. I like his grappling. Who's the bigger guy? Is it Long
Zhao
Zhao?
Long.
It
Yep.
is Long Zhao. Yeah, so he's bigger by 2 inches, same reach though. So that might come into play in the clinch. I think that's going to be the telltale sign. See how Long Zhao does on the ground. On the feet, he's got power, but I just feel like he's too much of a willing to get into a firefight guy. And I like Kwang Lee's patience, I guess, in that sense. Close lines again. Very close lines again. But I'm gonna take the dog in this one versus the last one. I'm gonna take Kwang Lee.
Yeah. I think JP broke this one down pretty well. Quang Lee, first fight in the UFC was on short notice, like ultra short notice. So didn't really get a great look at him. He did lose to Chris Gutierrez, who has very slick striking. And JP did mention in his talk track, but Kwang Lee's volume in that fight really just kind of disappointed me. I expect him to be a little bit more active in this one. Full fight camp. This is his time to shine. Probably going up against an opponent more on his level at this point in his career. Obviously, coming into the UFC, fighting a guy such as Chris Gutierrez, that's a tough opponent. That's a really tough opponent to get started with. I agree with JP. I think the wrestling's going to be there for him. I like his striking. He just hasn't really gotten an opportunity to show it off a little bit. So I think that we're getting great dog value here. Quang Lee's going to be my pick as well.
Interesting. Two dogs in a row for you, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Not like a 309 where there's just dog shit lines across the card. There are actually very close lines across this entire card. So don't be surprised if there's a lot of dogs barking tonight. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this next one. Loner Kavanaugh and Jose Osha.
I'm gonna reverse it on you a little bit. Uno reverse. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this one. I know you have a little bit of a story behind it. Um, the one thing I'll say about Osha is he will be the longer fighter, will be the taller guy, kickboxer, and he's pretty good at that. He's fairly quick, agile. The thing about Kavanaugh, a lot of power. We saw that on his Contender Series, the absolutely beautiful knockout that he had to get him the UFC contract. And when they get into the octagon on Saturday, um, you're going to see the size differential, at least as far as the width, the strength coming from the Kavanaugh side. He's the shorter fighter, but I like his skill set a whole lot more. Give me Lone Air Kavanaugh to get it done once again.
Uh, so here's my thing. Kavanaugh is good everywhere, really. You know, he's got good wrestling. He's got good stand up power. I wasn't gonna do like heavy research on this fight because I was like, Kavanaugh's good, and I looked at Osha's record, saw 7-0, so I looked up the guys that he's fighting. Which, by the way, this card is heavy LFA guys, just nothing but LFA guys. Jose Osha's record, he's fighting a bunch of cans. I mean, let's go down his record real quick, okay? He's fighting a guy, his most recent guy that he beat, best win that he's had, 5-0. Okay, so he beat a 5-0 guy. Before that, 4-4, and then 2-3, and then 2-3, and then 1-0, and then 2-0. These are all guys. Granted, he's beaten them all, finishing the guys. But what's the level of competition? You should be finishing guys. You should be running through guys like that. But then Loner Kavanaugh is going to be far and away his hardest fight. I mean, my only thing is this Jose kid. This Jose kid can kind of hit you from anywhere. I'm not going to lie. I do like this kid striking quite a bit. All right. He cuts angles really well. He mixes it up beautifully. The other thing I like about it is he is training with Shoot the Box Diego Lima's team. I like that team a lot as well. Charles Oliveira is associated with that team. I love that team. It's kind of like the Fighting Nerds. I'm big fans of both of those gyms. The lines right now, Loner Kavanaugh is basically 3.5 to 1 as a favorite. I'll tell you right now, Brevin, I think it's a trap. I don't think. I don't know. I can't see Loner Kavanaugh just blowing this guy out of the water. I think he wins. I'm taking Kavanaugh as well. All I'm saying is this is going to be closer than what I think the lines have it at and what a lot of people think. This Jose kid's not a pushover. He's tough. I mean, if I'm Loner, I'm getting it to the ground as soon as possible, trying to choke him out. I don't want to give the time of day to this kid to stand on the feet. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I will back you and take Kavanaugh as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hear where you're coming from, and yes, I love the gym, but you could put me in the gym. It won't change the fact that Loner Kavanaugh's the much bigger guy, the much stronger guy, and he has a ton of power in this matchup. I mean, Ochak could get blown over from the wind. I think Kavanaugh's gonna go out there and starch him. And maybe it is a trap, and maybe I'm biased, but with both of these guys being so young, I'm going to favor the guy that has clear knockout power. I'm not going to favor the guy that maybe can point strike and has high IQ and wins on the judges' scorecards at 23 years old. I think he's going to get in a firefight with a kid that will put your fucking lights out, and that's going to be a very bad idea. And he'll learn with time that that's not his game. But on Saturday, he's going to engage, and that won't be the right decision. I think Kavanaugh wins by knockout.
I think this. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but this Jose kid might have some pretty high potential. I like what I saw.
Good for you. Getting the loss. I don't care about the kid. All right, move. Carlos Hernandez. Oh dear. Oh dear. Why did I get picked for this one? Miriam Jargle to Mendana Barrel. Dear Lord.
Oh man, it wasn't bad. It was pretty decent.
You want to give it a go?
I mean, I mean, look at the fucking name. Holy shit, this name's got more letters in the alphabet.
I wish he played like basketball or something so we'd see that name on the back of a
I
jersey.
mean, I think you hit it on the head. What is it? Nyman Jargle, Tumen Dembrel, some shit like that. Who fucking knows? Yeah, Tumor. Tumor's gonna be the bigger guy in this one. Tumor's 8-0. We've seen Carlos Hernandez before. We broke down Carlos Hernandez before in the Ray Suyura fight at UFC 300. Got that one right. One thing about Carlos I will say, he's fought Ray Suyura. He's also fought Tatsuro Taira. Both of those
Yeah.
guys are crazy on the ground. Me and Brevin watched Carlos Hernandez. He's got crazy scrambles, okay? He did his best to survive both of those guys on the ground in the grappling. I like that a lot. Okay, that's very hard to do. Granted, Suyura knocked him out. Very hard to do. My only thing, okay, this Tumen Dembrel guy, he also has grappling. Is it as high of level? Probably not. But he also's got decent grappling. He's going to be the much bigger guy. He has way more power than Carlos on the feet. The only thing is he going to be technical enough and not be sloppy to beat Carlos Hernandez? Because it's shown that if you're technical enough and you're high level enough, you can beat Carlos, but Carlos is not an easy out. especially with the grappling transitions that he has. This is another one where I was going back and forth. I don't know, man. This one's so close to me in my head as well. The lines right now minus 192 plus 160. I don't know. Unless he goes out there and starches him, I can't see it. I just like the way that Carlos is transitioning with Ciuta and Taita, and I just can't see him manhandling him. So unless Tumen Dembrel comes out and just cleans his clock, which could happen, he's got power. I think Carlos survives. I think he does enough. I think it's a close fight, but I'm gonna take Hernandez.
That's fine, but I think you're wrong. I like Carlos Hernandez. JP broke it down very nicely. Very good scrambler. Stayed safe against some of the best submission artists that we've seen coming out of whatever it is. The same promotion that Road to the
LFA.
UFC. There,
Oh yeah.
no, Road to the UFC. I mean, I don't know what Carlos Hernandez has done to Dana White and all the boys, but this guy gets put up against all the undefeated guys. Every single guy that's made it through Road to the UFC, all these guys that are scrappy, scrambling, like, let's give Carlos Hernandez an easy fight. Why don't we? And maybe if you're JP right now, you're thinking, this is a good fight for him. I don't think it is. I think this matchup, it's very similar to what I've spoken on before. Carlos Hernandez has turned into a tough guy that's hard to put away. It makes for a fun fight. What has he done in those two fights that we had spoken about? What did he do against Tatsuro Taira? I know that this two-man Demirol is not Tatsuro Taira, but he does throw a lot of volume. He does have power. He's also good in the scrambles. He's got good stamina. And I think he does enough in this fight to get it done on the Georgia judges' scorecard if it goes to decision. And I don't think Carlos Hernandez has enough power to get Tumen Demirel out of there. So I'm gonna have to take Tumen Demirel either by judges' scorecards or he finds a KO. I don't think he submits him. I think Carlos has done enough to show why that would be a bad pick there. So let's take by decision or KO.
You know what? First time ever. First time ever on the show. I'm gonna switch it, dude. I can't do it. I'm gonna switch it. I just talked about earlier taking the Chinese guy if it's close because we're in China. I mean, he's from Mongolia. I might get flamed for it. Close enough in my book. Okay. I don't know. I just kept going back and forth. Hear you speak about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch up. I'm gonna go with the dog. I'm gonna back you. I don't know. I keep changing my mind on this fucking fight and the one earlier that I was saying. So first time ever. I'm gonna switch it. I know I said Hernandez. I'm switching it though. I'm going with Tumor Boy.
Here we go. Welcome to the club, man. I just think I think he gets more volume out there. He's much more active than Hernandez has been. Um, yeah, and like the scrambling is great, but you look at it, he really hasn't done anything of his own. He's just survived, and that's cool and all, but that's not going to win you a fight.
Well, and I just said like Ray knocked him out, and this guy's got way more power than Ray. And then I was like, the only way he gets him out of there is knocking him out. Well, he could. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to Denver. The more we talk about it, you know what? I'm changing it, switching it up. Pig flip. You saw it here first. Anyways, moving up. This one starts off the road to the UFC tournament championships. One of the coolest names on this card, if not the coolest name on the card. Zhao Kan Fang versus Ming Shi.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. I'm taking Fang. She carries a lot of power. She can knock Ming Shi out if she wants to. Ming Shi, she's not like a good wrestler or nothing, so I'm not afraid of that aspect of it. I think they stand and bang. And I think Fang's definitely got the upper hand there. She has a 6.5 inch reach advantage, a 5 inch height advantage. She's gonna be the stronger woman. She's younger. Um, Everything about her is just screaming that she's gonna get it done. I'm gonna have to go with Fang.
Oh yeah, I mean much smaller girl. So even if she was like, "Oh, I don't like this on the feet," I'm gonna grapple her and try and get it that way. I don't think she can do it because the other girl's bigger. She's stronger. She's got more power. I mean, Zhao Con Fang. How can you not be a badass with that name? Yeah, give me Fang.
Oh yeah. All right. Probably won't spend a ton of time on these just because there's not a ton to go off of. These are all road to the UFC guys, trying to get their shot inside the organization. Not all of them, but most. Next one, Hiru Sahota going up against Dong Hoon Choi.
Yeah, this one's weird. Sahota's big and just skinny, scrawny. He's long for the weight class. He's big for the weight class. Dong Hoon Choi, I think, has got more power. He's better on the inside. Fang. Looking at fucking Tapology. Fang's right below it. Sahota, he throws a lot of volume, but he does that shit that I don't like where it's just kind of jabbing out there. And like sometimes we're wasting movement because we're not throwing it to hit him. We're just throwing it to be an obstacle in front of him so he doesn't close the space. I just don't like that. If we're gonna throw, let's throw with some conviction, something behind it. He's got a decent jiu-jitsu game, a little bit of wrestling. I just think Dong Hoon Choi, he's gonna be quicker, better footwork. I think he'll be explosive enough to defend takedowns or do whatever. I think he's got more power. I just like Choi more. So give me Dong Hoon Choi.
Fair enough. This one was tough to break down, but I do like the size of Sahota. JP mentioned it. I think there's a little bit of jujitsu there. In this one, I like the up kicks. I like the jabs that were thrown out there because there is a big, big, big reach advantage. There's a big, big, big height advantage. This isn't a Karini Silva situation where she's throwing up kicks that go nowhere. If he throws up kicks, it's going to prevent Choi from shooting takedowns. It's going to prevent him from wanting to get inside the pocket and enter into the clinch. He's probably going to get caught with one or two of them, which then allows Sahota to kind of pick his range, pick his strikes, stay at where he wants to stay, and kind of point fight his way to decision. Could find a submission here, but I like the height. I like the range. Give me Kairu Sahota.
Zahota. Next one, moving up. So that was the 125 championship. The women's one before that was the 115 championship. This is the 135. Su Young Yu versus Baljan Jinsuli.
Yeah. First off, Yu's got a really cool nickname. It's Yujitsu, like Yujitsu, not Jujitsu.
Is it really?
Um, yeah, which is super cool. Um, Nothing to really write home about it between the two of these guys. Um, yeah, Yu does have submission victories. He's got 5 wins by submission. I just don't really know what to make of some of the competition that both of these guys have been up against. Um, just taking a look at this one, both guys are pretty good. I just think that Baljan's got a little bit more experience. I think he carries a little bit more power in his hands. He also has submissions in his bag. I'm going with Baljan. Venezuela.
Yeah. Balchin. He
Balchin.
look, doing research on this fight, watch a film. I'm picking Balchin. I'm backing you in the pick. I'm picking Balchin. I think this kid's got something. Okay, the striking, I like it a lot from where we are right now. I think there's a hell of a lot of potential from this kid. He mixes it up well. Again, I like that when we mix up the strikes. We're not just one dimensional. We can hit you from anywhere. We're throwing switch knees. We're throwing elbows. Like it a lot. I think he's got a lot of talent, a lot of promise. And like you said, he's got a little bit of jits. He's got enough to, if he needs to take the back, he's shown he can take the back. He can ride the back. He can do ground and pound. He can threaten with subs. Um, he's gonna be the bigger guy. Su Young Yu, he he's been shown if you take him long and you survive the onslaught of, because he's another one of these stocky guys that's got decent power and they're fast, but if you take him long, he gasses out. And in one of his most recent fights, he gassed out and then got stopped in that third round and lost the title in that fight. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna back you. I think Ball Chin's got a lot of promise. I like his striking more. I think he's got it.
Yeah. I mean, plus we're getting dog money. Can't go wrong. I think
100%.
that perfect call. All right, moving up the card. Almost said call. Moving up the card. Yong Ming Yang going up against Ozzy Diaz.
Yeah, Ozzy Diaz used to be a 185er, I believe. Now he's a 205er. Ozzy Diaz is kind of all over the place. He knocks somebody out, gets knocked out. He chokes somebody out, gets knocked out. He's the guy that got knocked out by Joe Pyfer on the Contender Series, which made Joe Pyfer's stock go crazy. Ming Yang Zhang is a devastating Chinese striker artist. Okay? Go watch this guy's fight with Ribeiro. All right? Dude thought he got poked in the eye. He's putting his hands up at the ref saying, hey, Mike Beltran, don't even acknowledge it. Said, fuck that. You better start fighting. Here comes Ribeiro. Presses him. 1-2 right down the middle. Snaps Ribeiro's head back. This dude's massive. This dude has power. He's accurate. I love it. I like it. I want some more of it. Give me Ming Yang Zhang by KO.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the size of Ming Yang. I mean, Ozzy Diaz is a big guy. He's big for this weight class. 6'4", good reach. He just doesn't impress me. He really doesn't impress me. His striking's kind of lackluster. He gets hit in the face a lot. He kind of really doesn't know what to do. I mean, even in fights that he's won, he's gotten dropped in. Uh, just doesn't really do anything that makes me feel like, oh yeah, he can get it done over a guy like Zhang Mingyang who has explosive power. This guy will turn your lights out, and he doesn't come to play. This guy is going to get it done every single time he's in there. I like Ming Yang a lot. I'm also rocking with Ming Yang by KO.
Bingo. And I'm confident in that, man. Like Brevin said, Ozzy's getting fights he wins by stoppage. Guess what? He probably got dropped around before that. So
Yep.
he is there to be hit. This next one, exciting one. Don't know why this one is so far down the card. I feel like this one could be the main event, honestly. Not even gonna lie to you. Volkan Ozdemir, Carlos Olberg.
Yeah. This one's gonna be fun to watch. Both of these guys hit hard. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog chewing on his toy in the background. The dude's a nut. But both these guys hit hard. Oldemir, he's a little bit older. Olberg, he gets a lot of canceled fights. I know JP doesn't like canceled fights. Normally, that's a sign of, some things behind the curtains, if you will, that are going on. However, when Olberg does fight and he puts it together, he is a scary, scary individual. Ozdemir had a nice outing last time out against Johnny Walker, but who doesn't? I could look good against Johnny Walker at this point. I recently saw a 16-year-old boxer knock down Johnny Walker. I, yeah, I'm not going to put too much weight in that. Ozdemir, he's had his day. He's fought some of the greats. I just don't think he has it anymore, and I think Carlos Olberg is going to expose that. Give me Carlos Olberg.
Yeah, man. I mean, besides the Johnny Walker thing, Vulcan's. I mean, I guess with the Johnny Walker win, he's on a bit of a run, but Vulcan's primarily a stand-up guy. He's got power. Don't get me wrong, he's got power, but when it goes bad for him in the stand-up, Vulcan's not necessarily the guy that is willing to grit down and put you against the fence, take you down, beat you up, go to the scorecards. Vulcan will live and die by the sword. And Carlos Olberg, I mean, the dude's a fucking phenomenal kickboxer. Great power, great precision. Sure, he got knocked out by Cheaty, or not Cheaty, Kennedy. But the Kennedy's one of the guys where a fight like that with Carlos Ulberg, who hit him with some bombs, looks superhuman, and he's eating all of it, and then he ends up knocking Carlos out because Carlos gassed because he's hitting him with these big ass shots. And then 2 fights later, Kennedy gets barely squeaked on the chin. Dude collapses, falls over like a demolition building. So like we don't really know with Kennedy, but yeah, Carlos is phenomenal. Again, you guys hear me talk about these gyms that I like. City Kickboxing. Who's from that gym? Oh yeah, Dan Hooker. Oh yeah, Kai Kara France. Oh yeah, sometimes Volk. Oh yeah, Izzy. Come on, bro. You're gonna tell me he's not gonna have the takedown defense to stop Vulcan? He's better than Vulcan on the feet. He's got more power. Give me Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah. Love that call. All right, moving up the card, the Joker, Wang Fong, going up against Gabriela Fernandez.
Boy, in this fight, boy, do I love me some Wang. You know what I'm saying?
Good
1
Wang.
a.m., 3 a.m. We're getting good Wang at 3 a.m. Are you kidding me? Um, yeah,
Some
Kong.
would say morning Wang.
We're getting morning Wang on fucking Saturday. Gabriela Fernandez is gonna get morning Wang. Okay. Kong, Wang, the Wang gang. You can throw me and Brevin in the Wang gang. I'm so confident. I'm
Yeah.
gonna speak for Brevin. Okay. Kong Wang is the shit. She's got power. She's got accuracy, precision, timing, all the above. She's a phenomenal striker. Gabriela Fernandez, can't see her doing anything to get Kong Wang out of there. You can also call it a bias pick because I want some excitement in ladies' fights, and this girl knocks other girls the fuck out. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Give me Kong Wang.
Yeah. Then they air it at 4 a.m. in the morning. Listen, Kong Wang, absolute killer. We retired from women's fights, making our locks, but this girl would maybe be an exception in the future. I think we broke her down on this show once before, but I know we started talking about the Wang gang on her last fight. If you're part of the Wang gang, leave a comment right now. JP and I are, and we aren't getting out of that gang anytime soon. Wang is the real fucking deal. I will tell you that much right now. Um, Absolute killer. The pre-fight stuff. She's at the weigh-ins with her face completely painted like the Joker. That's her nickname. She plays mind games. She's getting in your head. She's whispering shit in languages you can't even understand. Okay? If somebody was in front of me doing that, I wouldn't know how to respond. I really wouldn't. I'd probably be shaking in my boots a little bit. Wang does that. All right. Good Wang on Saturday. Let's go. Wang gang stand up. Wang Kong. Kong Wang. Getting it done.
I mean, nothing like good Wang on a Saturday morning. You know, maybe not at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., but hey, I'll take it. All right, beggars can't be choosers. But moving up the card.
No, sir.
This one's. I don't know how I feel about this fight. Kenan Song versus Muslim Salikov.
Yeah. This one's tough, man. Sucks I gotta break it down at first. I was so back and forth. I was kind of hoping to get a little input from my buddy JP over on the other side, but that's okay. I'll go first. I'll bite the bullet. And maybe, you know what? JP showed me. He opened the pathway to saying, hey, listen, maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna switch my pick. JP did that today for the first time ever, and I commend him because he showed me, Brevin, it's okay to let your guard down. It's okay to be wrong about something and switch sides. Maybe I'll have to, maybe I won't. But here's my breakdown of this. Song Kanon hits hard, almost put away Ian Gary. That was probably the highlight of his career, and it might still be for a long time the highlight of his career. Coming off of a nice win his last time out. However, he gassed late. He's a big, strong dude. He throws hard. He puts everything in all of his punches. I just worry about him going long. Muslim, on the other hand, I know we say on this channel all the time, fade the 40s. This dude is the one dude that I watched fight in his last time out. I was like, God, for being as old as he is, he doesn't look half bad. He doesn't look half bad. He actually has a pretty nice skill set. I think both these guys. are fairly evenly matched. I think Salikov probably has the better gas tank in this one. I think he may have a little bit better wrestling as well if things get into deep waters. As long as he survives the early onslaught from Song Kanon, I do think he can pull this one out. Maybe there's a little bit of Chinese bias for the judges later on. We'll have to see. But from a pure on paper standpoint, I am going to have to go with the 40-year-old. Give me Muslim Salikov. He is an Ovi, by the way. He is an Ovi. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe they cancel each other out.
The King of Kung Fu. It's a badass nickname if you ask me.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Close one. Kenan Song. I mean, really just planted that right hand on Ian Gary. Whipped his head around, dropped him. Everybody thought that was it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough fight. It's an interesting fight, but I mean, Brevin said it himself. We always say fade the 40s. And I came out here earlier and I said the Chinese bias thing. Brevin touched on it. So with the Chinese bias thing and then fade to 40s, I mean, it just comes to a point where I got to take my own advice, and I'm gonna live and die by the sword in that way too. So I'm getting dog money on Kanan Song, a 40-year-old man. I don't know, 40-year-old man. That's the favorite, and I'm getting dog money on the younger guy. I mean, Muslim did look good in his last fight, but Father Time beats us all, and at some point it gets catches up to you. So I feel like it's only a matter of time, and I like the value I'm getting on Song, so I'm going Kanan Song.
I I can't hate that. I like Kanan Song as a person, but not today, buddy. Not today. All right, moving up the card. Tabitha Ricci going up against Jan Jenan.
Tabitha, baby shark, doo 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 doo. Yeah, Tabitha Ricci. Let's start with Yan Janon actually first. So her last fight, saw her fight Whaley. Okay, saw her do decent on the feet with Whaley, you know. But then Whaley took
Yeah.
her down. Whaley had her way with her.
Oh,
That's Whaley gave her some wang. Who knows? um, I think that's her blueprint to get beat is grappling. We've seen grapplers beat her. You know, Zhang Wei Li beat her. Marina Rodriguez is a point fighter, not necessarily a grappler, and she beat her. Carla Esparza, she beat her. Beat her up on the ground. I think everybody holds the Mackenzie Dern and Jessica Andrade wins back to back in a very high regard. Mackenzie Dern's a weird one because she'll strike way too much than she needs to. She's got phenomenal grappling, but she doesn't use it. She doesn't have great wrestling, but she's got great jiu-jitsu. Jessica Andrade, I mean, first of all, Jessica Andrade is one scoop of creatine away from being a man, you know? All right? And Jessica Andrade will run at you and just start fucking swinging these bombs, okay? So she's not the smartest, brightest crane in the box. I mean, I might get flack for that, saying that, whatever. Hey, I know we're all thinking it, okay? I'm just the other end. I'll take the heat for it. That's fine. That's fine. I know we're all thinking it when we watch her fight. um, I don't know, man. Tabitha Ricci, she's got decent grappling. She's got okay stand up. It's not good. It's not great. She's not gonna be as good at stand up as Zhao Nan, but I think the way to beat Zhao Nan is the grappler. Tabitha Ricci's a decision machine who literally makes her career on grappling and striking just enough and going to decision and winning. But then here comes the thought I had earlier about taking the Chinese fighter when it's close for Chinese bias. Plus 170, Baby Shark, dog money. Give me Tabitha Ricci, brother, on the scorecards.
wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. JP did a lot of talking trying to justify that pick right there. Um, he talked about Whaley having her way with Jan. I get that. Let's not forget that Jan sat Whaley down. She sat her down, almost stopped her. What if that would have happened? What if that would have happened? Then she's on a 3-fight win streak with a knockout win over Wei Li Zhang for the strawweight championship of the world. What if? We don't live in the what ifs, and that's what makes this fun. However, Tabitha Ricci to me has nothing to offer that Wei Li, presented for Jan in their last fight. I'm not really impressed by Tabitha Ricci. I think Jan has the power to stop Ricci. Ricci just is just one of these gals that doesn't do a whole lot. And you want to talk about one scoop of creatine this, one scoop. Look at Jan. I mean, that girl could knock JP and I out like just by standing in the same room as us. She's a beast for this division. All right. She's a beast. I think she gets it done. Give me Jan Jana.
Yeah, much bigger girl. I guess not much bigger, but she's 4 inches taller, 2 inch reach.
You'll see when their arms are stacked up next to each other.
All I'm saying, okay, Jessica Andrade, you know it, I know it, USADA knows it, the whole world knows it.
Yeah, the arms are insane. I will say that.
Jesus Christ.
There's a couple women inside the UFC that I would trade my arms instantly for.
I mean, fuck. Can we get a drug test on Kayla Harrison immediately? Stat.
Oh man, she makes me look bad. I didn't even want my girlfriend to watch that fight. It's like, hey, you may like her biceps more. All right. I've been trying to work out, but it doesn't look like Kayla Harrison. That girl is a beast.
And her back. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right.
Insane.
Moving up, the big one, the main event. Probably going to be going off 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m.
Uh,
Um, Piotr Jan Davison Figueiredo.
yeah. This one's a good fight. Really good fight. Two guys that potentially could be fighting for the belt inside of this division. Figueredo has looked pretty darn good since moving up to this division. Coming off that win against Cheeto Vera. I picked Cheeto Vera. I was wrong. Um, beat Cody Garbrandt. Got a lot of good things going for him. Peter Yan, on the other hand, he's a really damn good fighter. He's a damn good fighter. Um, he got back on the winning side over Yadong Song. He had 3 fights in a row that he lost. Granted, they were Marab, Sean O'Malley, and Aljamain Sterling. Pretty good losses. Split against Sean, split against Aljo. Probably beat Sean. We don't have to debate that right here. It's tough. But Peter Yan, I think he's got the skill set to get it done. I think it's going to be quicker than Davis and Figueredo. I still think back about Cody Garbrandt piecing up Figgy until Cody got taken down. Peter Yan, he got taken down a total of 50 times, 50 attempts from Marab. I think he's going to be just fine if Figgy tries to take him down. I'm going to go with Peter Yan.
Main event, 5 rounds. If this is a 3 round fight, I would pick Figgy. But the fact that it's 5 rounds, like Brevin just said, Marab took or tried to take Peter down 50 times. Marab, I mean, fucking machine. Dude's just going to do nothing but shoot takedowns. Figgy's not going to do that. Figgy's been shown to get tired 5 rounds. Piotr's going to have better boxing, slicker hands. He's going to be faster. I think he's got more power on the feet. Yeah. If it was 3 rounds, it'd be a harder choice, but 5 rounds, I think Piotr is going to be there 3, 4, and 5 if Figgy doesn't get him out immediately. I can't see him getting him out immediately. I am also going to go with Piotr Jan.
Yeah, love it. All right, that wraps us up for this UFC Fight Night, but that doesn't wrap up the episode. Don't go anywhere. We have locked doors, parlays coming your way, starting with locked doors, lock of the night. JP, I'll kick it over to you to hopefully get right back on track, right back on the saddle that you fell off of last weekend. Who's your lock of the night?
Back on the saddle. Ladies and gentlemen, last weekend, we locked Karini Doodoo Cheeks Silva. She fought terrible. I went on the recap and I crashed out. I said, I'm retiring. I am no longer picking women's fights as my lock or betting on them. And I told you guys I was retiring. I'm staying retired and I'm not doing it, not going 10 feet near it. But I am going near Ming Yang Zhang to knock Ozzy Diaz the fuck out, baby. A lot of Chinese power in these hands. Give me Ming Yang Zhang.
Love that call. For my lock of the night, I'm always sticking with the big boys. Gotta represent for us big boys out there. Give me Carlos Ulberg. He's gonna get a KO over Volkan Ozdemir. There's no time for Volkan. That's his nickname. If you didn't catch it, his time is on Saturday. He's gonna hit the canvas. Carlos Ulberg getting it done.
Hey, maybe double both of those up by KO. That might be juiced.
That might be. All right, for my basic, Revan's basic. Oh, buddy, I've been on an absolute tear. I've been making you guys money left and right, paying the bills, paying your student loans, the tuition. Call me the president of the basic. Guys, I've been giving you guys pensions. I've been giving you guys stipends, whatever you need. Hurricane relief funds, I can provide it. Revan's basic. Here we go. Last week we hit the 4-legger. I'm going to reel it back in a little bit. We're sticking with the 3. Give me Hito or Yan in the main event to kick us off. Give me my lock, Carlos Ulberg, the beast. Love that guy. And you know, I can't leave this card without getting us on the Wang gang. Give me Wang Hong. She's gonna get it done. Listen, you don't have to put your money on the female fight if you don't want to. We didn't lock her up. But there's no way she ain't getting the W on Saturday. Let's go. Let's get another basic win for the boys. And that's plus money right now. I've been on plus money, been printing money over here. That'll do it. That'll do it for good, man. If you need money, come to Uncle Breath.
It's like a walking ATM machine with the basics right now. Okay. 9 p.m. at night. What you gonna do? Hit up Brevin, ask him for a basic. Okay. Ask him for some cash. Because he's pregnant. And then he'll send you my way and get you some nice juice. Alright? We'll juice it up for you a little bit. Last couple weeks, last week, we stretched it. Okay. Threw a couple dogs in there. We were hoping for it. And the lock let us down. But not this week, baby. Not in Macau, China, okay? Because this week, for the juicer, I got 6 picks. 6 picks that might not be as juiced as it normally is, but they are all confident picks, and they're all fucking hitting, baby. The return of the juicers this weekend in China at 1 a.m., okay? To start off the juicer early in the night. I said it's going to be a close fight, and it will be. We might have to sweat it out, but Loner Kavanaugh, I think, gets the W. Start with Loner Kavanaugh. Next one, Zhao Con Fang. I mean, if you didn't think she was going to ragdoll this other bitch, her name alone, put her in the juicer. Are you kidding me? Sounds like a Mortal Kombat name. Next, Zhang Ming Yang, my lock. The Chinese powerhouse. Throw him in there. Next one, of course, we're going with Brevin's lock because the locks are a lock for a reason. Both of these guys are probably going to knock out the other guy anyways. Throw him in there. Okay, next one. Kong Wang. Wang gang. All right, she's gonna knock out this other bitch, and you can call it bias. I said it once, I'll say it again. You can call it bias, but me and Brevin want some spice in this women's division in women's MMA, and this girl goes out there and knocks other bitches the fuck out, and that's what we love to see, baby. Throw her in there. Last one in the main event, Piotr Jan. I think he beats Figgy. It's 5 rounds. He's got slicker boxing, quicker hands. Takedown defense should be able to let him survive. Piotr Jan, throw him in there. That is plus money, just below plus 400 right now. Brevin, I think it's hit.
Yeah, I can't say I don't agree. I think it's hitting as well. Let's get you back on track. Let's hit the basic. Let's hit the lock at 1 a.m. I might be out at the bar at 1 a.m. and I'll say, hey, free drinks for everybody. Locked Door MMA just hit another round of basics. Juicers and the lock. It's going to be a fun one. Just kidding. I might be sleeping. I might be asleep, but we'll see. We'll see. Call us a casuals. Yeah, casuals ain't doing what we're doing on a week to week basic, and that's a fact, Jack. All right. That does do it for the show. We appreciate you guys as always. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe to the channel. Crushing it every single week. Don't want you guys to miss out. Let's print money. As always, get these picks correct. Talk about fights. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, go ahead, leave a comment in the comment section. We love interacting with you guys every single week. We talk a little shit. That's all right. That's who we are. We're fiery, man. We're fiery from Prescott Valley. Easy boys. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. We're gonna talk our shit. But we love you guys as always. JP, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, man, who knows? I'll probably catch quite a bit of it. Probably got to be working this weekend, and I do work. I mean, you guys probably don't know this. I do work early hours, normally 3 to 10, 11 a.m. So might be lucky enough to listen to this in the old headphones during work, brother, and hopefully we can catch one. Okay, sweep the bets again. Sweep the card. We'll see how China treats us. Getting close to Thanksgiving. Okay, so let's give thanks to the UFC for constantly bringing us fights every single weekend. All right. Amen to that, brother. Ladies and
Amen.
gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby!